Minerals and supplemental feeding are a bit of a controversial subject, and I can kind of understand why. It's like, okay, as far as disease is concerned, concentrate animals, you know what, the risk is going to be higher. Here's, in my ever so humble opinion, here's the problem with that thought process, that way of thinking this through. What do we do about licking branches? There's a whole bunch of whitetails are sucking on that branch. What do we do about whitetail breeding? If you've ever watched deer breed, what does that buck do to that doe before he breeds her? He licks her. What do we do about family groups? Does and fawns that are related. Geez, they're licking each other all the time. What about that mud puddle that they just ended up peeing in that every deer in the area is drinking from? I understand, and I'm not trying to bash that way of thinking, but at the same time, all right, all they're getting from that licking branch is communication. All they're getting a little bit of water, which they need, from that puddle that they're drinking out of, that every deer is peed in the entire area. What are they getting from minerals and supplemental feed? Oh, they're getting beneficial items, things that are actually improving their health. Yes, we have some concentration effect going on, but me personally, we got concentration effects going on in whitetails, period. And if we're going to sit here and pretend we don't, we're sticking our heads in the sand, I'll say. The next issue when it comes to baiting and feeding and minerals is, does it actually do any good? Here's what I can tell you. I can't promise that the zinc and vitamin D that I'm taking every day for the last 3 years has made it so that my immune system is healthier and that I'm never going to get sick again. But I can tell you this, ever since I started taking vitamin D and zinc, I have hardly got sick at all, and when I get sick, it is barely. Seriously, you might really want to start thinking about taking vitamin D and zinc in your diet. But I can't prove that helped. But I'll tell you what, that anecdotal evidence sure is compelling. And I can tell you the exact same thing from feeding. When I overwinter feed, I can't prove that that is why the racks are almost always bigger that next year, but they are. I can't prove that that is why the fawn recruitment rates that spring are that much better, healthier, but they are. I cannot prove that is why body weights increase on these whitetails, but they have. Vitamins and supplemental feeding over and over and over have shown me that they are big game changers for whitetails. But here's the catch, especially when it comes with minerals, no worries. What you want to do is you want to get them out early. You want to get them out before the snow's gone. As a matter of fact, I like to start my mineral sites in February. Okay, next, ask yourself, what are you doing with these sites? Am I trying to simply attract deer, or am I trying to use this to make them as healthy and happy and thrive as they possibly can? If the second is the case, remember, minerals are very difficult for whitetails to digest. Because of that, the vast majority pass right through their system, doing absolutely no good whatsoever. Always remember, it is not important so much what the protein content is, what the nutritional analysis of these products are. What's important, the amount that they can digest from this. As some guy from Purina told me years ago, if my shoe is 80% protein and a deer eats it, it does them no good whatsoever because they cannot digest it. Whitetails are ruminants, just like sheep, just like cows, just like goats, meaning they have 4-chambered stomachs. One of the primary differences between whitetails, sheep, goats, and cattle is that sheep, goats, and cattle have comparatively larger rumens, their first chamber in their stomach. What that allows them to do is break down much more difficult to digest plant matter. Okay, whitetails can't. Their rumen's smaller. Because of that, those mineral supplements that you pick up convenience store, the local co-op, they will not work as well because they are formulated for animals that can digest this stuff. Whitetails can't digest it as easily. really want to pay, if you're trying to do the max good, you really want to pay attention to the ingredients, and you want to make sure they are cleated minerals because they are more expensive but more easily digestible. Next, look at the ingredients list. That ingredients list does matter as well, just not as much as the quality. If you're looking at much more than 25% salt content, you know what? It's just plain not going to be as good for the whitetail. Salt attracts deer. If you're looking to attract deer, forget about all this stuff, just go buy a salt block. Okay, if you're looking to do the most good, those ingredients matter.